What's going on, guys? Christian Perez back at you with another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a shadow fade with like a high top on top, but he wanted a curl sponge at the end. Got a little goatee action going on. Not been to my channel before. Make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, get active in the comments. And as always, I appreciate your time. Alright, let's get started. So like I said, this customer's doing a shadow fade with like a flat top on top, but we're going to use the curl sponge in the end. He wanted to dread it up, curl it up at the end. So here's a little before. For this video, we're going to be using the BARBER Pro Lithium FX. We're going to start out using the Andis Magnetic Zero Guard with the lever closed. This is going to create our first initial guideline to start the shadow fade. If any of you guys are going to the CT Barber Expo, pretty excited about that. Next month, Toon Squad will be there. We will have a booth, so I'm really looking forward to that. Get active in the comments. Let me know if you guys are going to be there. So you notice there's a little divot in the back of his head. You got to stretch that skin out and make sure you get all that hair that's inside there. So here we're using the Andis Magnetic number 2 guard with the lever closed. As you can see, when I get towards the top, I'm not digging into the top of his hair because he wants that flat top look. I'm just letting the clipper float right off of the side of his head. Here we're using the Andis Magnetic number 1 guard with the lever open, which is the equivalent to a 1.5. That'll blend right into that number 2. And we're going to start blending down towards that zero guard. So here we're using the zero guard, lever open. That'll blend right into that number 1. And for this particular clipper, excuse me, because there's no notches on the side, we're going to use the open middle close method. You start off open, you close it to the middle, and then you close it all the way. If you got to use in between those, that's okay. Just make sure you use the corners of your blade. So here we're back using the Andis Magnetic number 1 guard. We're repeating the same process on this side. I'm really feeling these BARBERs. I've never used them before. If anybody's followed my channel, you know that I'm an Andis Masters guy. I'm using different clippers. For you guys have been asking me to use different clippers, so I kind of stepped out of my comfort zone. Not that I can't do it. Obviously, you can see here in the cut I can do it. It's just what I'm used to using is the Masters. But I'm really feeling these BARBERs. I'm not going to front, y'all. These are pretty dope. I like the Magic Clips, but if I had to choose, I would choose these over the Magic Clips. Just for the simple fact that I can use the guard system that I like, which is, you guys know, it's the double magnetic Andis guards. I hate the single magnets. So because I can use the double magnets on this, it just kind of, it takes the W for me. So here we're going with the grain. We're using the number 2, and we're just brushing the hair, and we're cutting in the direction that the hair grows in. And the reason we're doing that is we're trying to smooth out that transition from the top to the shadow fade on the bottom. So here we're using the Andis T outliners, the blackout editions, and we're going to start the taper in the back. You can see I do kind of like a C shape, and the reason I do that, if you guys have watched some of my other videos, when I like to leave the C cup in the front a little bit darker so that it pops, same concept here. I'm just trying to leave those corners or those edges a little bit darker towards the bottom. That way when I put the line on it after I blended it out, it'll pop a little more, gives a little more definition. Same thing here in the back. We made our initial guideline, and then we're gonna start in with the lever open, and we're gonna go to the open, middle, and then close position on the clipper. If you gotta go in between, like I said earlier, it's all good. Take your time and just make sure you use the corners of your blade. So as you can see here, this is what I was talking about. You can see how it pops a little more towards the bottom. Still looks blended, still looks faded. Just gives it a little more detail. It's all of the details for your customers. Here we're going back over and just doing some touch-up work. Every haircut needs touch-up work. Nobody's perfect. So just make sure you go back over, use your mirrors, and go back over and touch up, and then needs touch-up work. As you can see, there was a little bit of weight there left at the top. So I went ahead and did some touch-up work on it. Here I'm using some spritz or some setting spray. And then you can use a blow dryer, or in my case, because we have a compressor, I just use the air compressor hose. And I use the air from the air compressor hose along with my brush. And I brush all those baby hairs. And it helps everything just kind of sit in place. Gives you a nice canvas to work with. And it helps the liners hit a little better. Doing the same thing on this side. Sprayed a little bit of spritz on, or setting spray, using the air from the air compressor hose, brushing the hair down and setting it in place. So here I'm using the 1.5 guard, and I'm just kind of floating the clipper towards the front. I'm not really digging too much. Again, I'm just giving myself a clean canvas to work with. Helps that edge in the front pop a little more. Let me know if you guys want me to do a review video on these FX Pros. Like I said, I think they're pretty dope. Repeating the same process I did on the sides here with the setting spray. As you can see, it makes that line pop. So here we're starting to trim his mustache and start the goatee. It's not really a goatee, it's more the mustache and just a little bottom. A lot of customers tend to want to like stretch their lip down when you're edging up their mustache. I try to tell my customers just to remain the same. You know, don't make any crazy facial expressions. That way when I'm edging up the mustache, I can see what it's going to look like when their face is in a relaxed state. Otherwise it'll be kind of lined up all over the place, if you know what I mean. Now in this bottom area in the neck, if you're new to barbering, you want to make sure you're careful. It looks like I'm going fast, but the video is just sped up. I'm taking my time here. If you're not stretching the skin out, make sure you take your time. If you stretch the skin out, you can go a little bit quicker, but again, just take your time. Either way, whether you're stretching the skin out or not, it's a sensitive area in the bottom there. You want to make sure you don't nick your client up. So just take your time. Here I'm using Tune 45 shave gel. You guys know all about it. You can get all your Tune 45 gear at www.tune45.com. We got dad hats on there. We got razor blade holders. A lot of new stuff coming this year, guys. And the black mask is coming pretty soon too. And I'll be doing a tutorial on the black mask as well. So here I put a little bit of oil sheen on here just to give it some shine and help the curl sponges slide. And you just want to go in circular motions. Whether you want to go clockwise, counterclockwise, really up to you. But just go in circular motions, and once you start in one direction, I tend to stay in that same direction. So if I start clockwise, I'm going to stay clockwise. If I start counterclockwise, I stay counterclockwise. So this is the final product. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend a little time with me. Make sure you subscribe, share, smash that like button, and get active in the comments. And as usual, I appreciate your time. See y'all next week.